If you're a leader, you need to have a pretty amazing memory. Let me explain why. So let's go. Hi, it's Tansel, 4-time Australian memory champion, international best-selling author, and your memory coach. And today we're going to look at leadership. Now, firstly, what is a leader? A leader is someone who has a vision of either a better future or somewhere to lead others to. You can obviously lead yourself to something as well. So look at leadership that way, right? The reason why I work with leaders is that they've got a vision, right? Now, this vision sometimes is not well formed. The action taken towards that vision is very convoluted or it's complicated. So this video, I want to talk about how to make that vision a lot better. So it's easier access to that goal, right? That's the important bit. Now, how do you make a vision more memorable? Right? We talked about using our senses, we talked about using movement, association, using yourself, all of that. And if you want to learn more about the smash and scope technique, you can watch the video below, right? This is not a video just going through smash and scope again. This is about how to lead others to your goal, because you know what that looks like, but you don't know how others take that as well, right? So there's two things going on. The creation of the vision of the leader, right? The leader creates a vision, and sometimes leaders have amazing vision, right? That's why they're there in the first place, because they have something that they need people to get to, right? And they know how to get there themselves, but people don't know how to get there, right? So that's why a leader is placed in that situation so they can be taken there, right? So leaders, some of them have amazing vision. Some leaders don't, right? And this is where we come in. Memory experts, right? Showing you, okay, how do you create a strong vision? Let's say you're creating a vision for your company or whatever, and it says, we want to be the number one, blah, 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 right? That's our vision. Well, what does that even look like? What can you see? What can you smell? What can you see when you head to work? What does number one look like? Right? You have to be able to visualize it. You have to be able to smell it, taste it. You have to embody this vision. You can't just see it in a visual format, or you can't just be this circle graphic that you've got plastered around the office. That's not a vision, that's just a graphic. And when I've worked in organizations, I've had things like, integrity and, all these, awesome statements and the vision, all that, but nothing really went through to the staff. And the reason is, whatever you visualize, whatever you do inside your head, isn't necessarily what's going to be picked up by others, because you've encoded that information differently. So in order to communicate, you have to make sure people encode it in the way that you want them to. Processing inside your head is different than communicating outside. Like when I work with public speakers, I get them to memorize their speech, right? And they use their stories, associations, whatever. However, and this is what people miss out on the point, is when you're delivering that speech, that's another process altogether, because you have to make sure that that message, right, gets out and is remembered and is impacted in the same way your brain is, right? They're two very different things, right? Processing inside our head and communication. So how do you make the communication memorable, right? That's what we're talking about. In my book, The Yellow Elephant, I talk about the fourth level, communication in the yellow elephant memory model, right? How do you make it memorable for others? And that's what this vision is all about. It's not what's memorable to you, it's what's memorable to others, because you're leading others, right? You're leading others. And if you're leading others, then your communication has to be encoded from what you see to what these people are going to get, right? That's the difficult part. You can't just have this amazing vision and feeling yourself and try and impart that to people in the way that you've got it in your head, right? It doesn't work that way. People don't see it like that. And some people are just not passionate like you as well. So it has to be done by a different medium or different ways, different systems and tools, all that sort of stuff. So how do you get people, encoding your message so that they can get your vision inside their heads? They can get your communication, any sentences, integrities, all that sort of stuff in there. And how do you get them to actually take action? Because that's what a leader does, leads people to somewhere so they can then, bring about change or do something, right? So you're going to have followers, obviously, right? You can't be a leader if you don't have a follower. Now, this includes yourself. You got to follow yourself, right? If you're doing something, if you've got a goal, right, you have to create a vision for it. You have to know what you need to do, and you have to take yourself there. So you're a leader and a follower, right? You have to follow that vision, if you know what I mean, right? Hopefully you get that. Same thing here. If you're leading people, you have to have people. Right? That's simple as that. It's easier if you're in an organization because they work for you, right? If you're doing something voluntary, or if you're an influencer, you've got to have these followers, right? So that's it. And where are you leading your followers? Are you leading them to entertainment? Are you leading them to, education? Like someone like Alex Hormozy, for example. He's leading there. He's on a mission, this guy, right? And he's leading them to better education around finances and business and things like that. I've watched a few of his videos and I've been impacted straight away. Why? Because he's really good at communicating not just his vision, but what people need to see from his vision. So that's a great example of what leadership looks like in terms of vision. So if you're a leader and you have followers, but they're actually not doing what you're telling them to do, think about your message to them. How could you get them? So think about the people first, right? Now, I'm not saying a leader doesn't think about people. This is just a general, talk about memory. This all comes down to memory because you're processing information, right? And it's not about, oh yeah, I'm gonna be a leader, I'm gonna do this. Yeah, that all comes from communication, right? So how do you get these followers to follow what you're doing? Okay, so let's look at encoded information, right? You've got a vision, it's nice and strong. Now you want to pass it on to other people, right? You can obviously do it through graphics and stuff like that, but you need to have conversations, obviously, right? What do these people want, right? Understanding individuals is the key, right? Why do you think I make these videos? I want to try and understand what you're actually after so I can answer your questions. That's what these videos are for. They're answering questions, right? I've been working with my clients for over 22 years, right? I get a lot of questions, and these videos are essentially answering a lot of those questions, hence why I'm doing this. So you can get that education, improve, and move along, right? So you have conversations, you try and understand why these people want to, do what they want to be able to do. Understand first, right? Have those conversations, understand first, and then present your, here is my vision type of thing, right? Because you try and get on the same level. If you're up here and saying, here's my vision, go follow it now, bang, the people are going to go, whoa, hang on, dude, what's going on? I don't even know you. Or we haven't even, communicated, and you're telling me to do this, go away, right? So you need to be able to connect with individual, and not just one conversation. You need to keep at it. It's effort, right? Leaders know, the good leaders know that there's a lot of effort that goes into this stuff, right? So put in the effort and really connect with individuals, one by one, group by group. I don't care, as long as you meet and connect. That's the thing. Once you've connected, you've engaged, right? On social media, it's engagement, right? Funny, it's sort of side note as well. My daughter, she's 13, and she told me the other day. I told her, my wife was, looking at getting on TikTok, and she's like, "Oh no, please no, don't let her go. Like they'll destroy her." I'm like, "What do you mean?" And she's talking about the comments and stuff, because that's what 13-year-olds look at, I guess. But she also said, "Look, it's not about the likes on TikTok. Likes is irrelevant. It's the engagement, and you need to have, at least 80 to 100,000." People likes to get some decent engagement, and then if you don't get less than this number, then it's not really engaging and your post won't go anywhere. And I'm like, this little 13-year-old knows way more than a lot more people out there actually working on TikToks and reels and all that sort of stuff. So it's about engagement. Even my 13-year-old daughter knows that it's about engagement. So create engagement with your people, right? Connect with them, engage, and then once you understand and you're at that level, you present your thing. This is what I'm looking at doing. This is where I want us to go. Can we work together? right? Ask the questions, and they'll have further questions. They might say, yeah, sure. And if they say that, then you ask the questions, because you don't want a direct yes straight away, right? You want to say, okay, that's great. If you say yes, is there anything you want to discuss? If they say no, what is it that excites you about, trying to achieve such and such, right? So really deeply engage with individuals. I know some leaders want to just stay at that high level and get other people to do that for them. Obviously delegate. But remember, if you're a leader, you need to be inspiring as well. So you need to get down and connect with these people. There was an incident at the the Euro Cup recently, where Arda, the Turkish soccer player, really wanted sign top from Cristiano Ronaldo, being the world's greatest footballer. But he was too shy or embarrassed to ask him. And then what happened was that later on, Ronaldo brought his top to Arda at the changing rooms, and he was just so amazed that your world-class player would come directly to him, and he even greeted him with "Assalamu alaikum," and really connected and bonded with him. And this guy now is only 17, 18, and he's just totally inspired and looked at, wow, he's not only a world's best, but he's such an amazing person. So leaders have to be amazing people, not just connectors. That's what creates a vision of these people. From the followers, they have this amazing vision, like, wow, this person is awesome. They've connected with me. We really want to look at creating vision in a memorable way, not just in our heads, but in other people's heads. And that's how you get the followership, by deeply connecting. Now, obviously there's other ways as well, right? You can use NLP to convince people, or you can use certain guerrilla tactics, but I'm not talking about that stuff. I'm talking more about how information processing works and how, I guess, inspiration works, because a leader has to be inspirational, right? Not everyone can be a leader, and that's okay, because we need followers to essentially do the job, right? We need followers to take all of us somewhere. I'm a follower somewhere. I'm a leader somewhere as well, right? So, it's not like you're one or the other. So if you've got a vision, if you are a leader, think about how you can connect deeper with your people, how you can create greater engagement, but also, more importantly, think about what information is processed in other people's heads, because that's what's important. You can simply just ask, like, what do you get from what I'm telling you about? If they give you exactly what you need, they've got the message, right? If they don't, or if they can't, then you've got some work to do. Yes, you've got it in your head, they haven't. So you have to, communicate again or connect again, right? Now, the final part is about them taking action, or even you taking action. How can leaders, with their vision, get their staff or people or followers to take action? Right? And that's to constantly keep connecting and keep telling them what to do, right? Not in a autocratic, way, but being authentic. Because if you're authentic, then people see that. People see authenticity and they follow through. And in fact, if you're really connected to your people, they will take the action for you and they will become leaders. And that's what you want as a leader, to leave a better legacy. So hopefully that's giving you some food for thought. I know it's sort of, a different type of video to what I make, but it's still about processing data, right, in our heads, this information. And if you get that right, you can really have an impact on people. So take a look at your favorite YouTubers, right? What do they do? They've already got an image, a visual or vision, right, of what they want to achieve. How do they present it back to you, right? How do you process that information, and how does that make you feel? I want you to comment down below. If you've gotten this far into the video, comment down below who are some of those people that you watch that is giving you an amazing feeling, and that is getting you to take action, because that's what you want. You don't want to just be entertained if you're watching something educational, right? Because that's not the purpose of the educational video. Look at it that way. Comment down below. If you need any help, feel free to reach out, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.